you're so real. Already know exactly how you feel. See the head, not like seeing a steeple. You damn well know they're one of the people. Nobody breaks us, 'cause nobody made us. And no one can take this, 'cause we got their fix. We are the people, we are the people, we are the people. Don't mess with this.
Oh, yeah, here we come right here.
What
It
is
is
up?
Friday, baby. Patrick and the people. I got Chad Sledge in here with me right now.
How y'all doing?
Man, it's going to be a good day. We've got
Yes, sir.
two comedians coming in today from the Looney Bin, one of which, Carter Anderson, he has 2 million followers on just TikTok.
Damn.
That's pretty amazing.
That is amazing,
So
man.
I'm excited to talk to him. Maybe I'll learn something from him about how
Me
to
too, man.
blow some
Like,
social media
man,
up, what
exactly,
to do,
man.
you know? Pretty great. That's pretty great, man.
1
So,
million followers. Yeah,
that's a lot of
that's
people.
a lot, man.
You said you've had like 2 million people come in.
I wish,
this
man.
week.
I'd be paid. No, man, we've been busy though, man.
You said you had, I guess, because
school's
everybody's out
getting
of school.
People coming back in town that's been out of town for school and stuff. So
So now it's time to get pierced
yeah,
up for
it's that
summer.
time of year for me right now.
Yeah. So
Loving
what
it.
is still, are ears the number one, or
I've been doing a lot of ears, septums, noses, just about everything.
you've been doing a
Even
little everything?
Nipples, a little bit of this, a
Yeah.
little bit of that. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, look at you go, man. Shit, all right, all right. Well, good for you over there. How's everything else going, man? What else is new in your area?
Man, I'm doing good, man. Like, I had to go to the dentist the other day, and I had a little ordeal at the dentist. But other than that, I'm rolling good, man.
You all right, though?
Yes, sir. I'm good.
Okay. Go. That's good to know. That's good to know. Now, you were telling me you had seen something on the news or whatever.
Oh man, them gummies. Was it
Haribo?
How you
Whatever it
pronounce
is. I
that
don't
stuff?
know. It's
Yeah,
weird.
in the Netherlands, they found THC in the gummies out there, man.
Oh, really?
Some of y'all need to get that
THC, and they got the weed in the
in the
gummies.
gummies.
Oh,
I don't know how they made
shit.
that mix up, but it was on Channel 4 News, so it's legit.
Really? Well, I mean, maybe, we got all these kids with the tism now. You got to calm them down a little
It's
bit.
like, man,
Say, we're going to
this
chill
in there
y'all out.
for 'em, yeah.
They'll just add a little something there for you and chill
they're
y'all
gonna try
kids
to
out.
trace that back and find that person.
Man, I don't know. I mean,
They need
that's
to give them an
it.
award.
All the grades went up.
Everybody chilled out for that whole month.
Yeah, it's like a month. They're
Yeah.
like, man, these students have never been better,
Cops
man.
are
What's
chilling
going
like,
on?
what the hell's going on? Everybody's at their house or at the bar eating.
Yeah, and everybody's fat, but they're so quiet and cool. I mean, shit, man. That's hilarious. I mean, it's bad, but it's still
Horrible,
funny.
horrible,
It is,
horrible.
yeah, no, nobody wants their kid to do weed, right?
Maybe your
But that
grandma
is
got
funny.
some of those.
Oh,
Granny
man.
riding around eating gummies.
That'd be great, man.
Gummies are making me feel great.
I can't imagine. My grandmother's long deceased, but I can't imagine if she had a
Oh
split
my
what she
God,
would like.
man! Yeah, me too.
I know y'all see this hat here. It says
Man, I'm ready.
baked. And the reason for that is today, after the show, we've got an interview, and we're going to try out Lulu liquor cakes.
You damn right we are.
Yeah, that's right. I said liquor cake. So you think about that for a minute. That's hella good already, isn't it? And she sent it. It came yesterday, and I've got it in the fridge for right after this. 4 different flavors we get to try.
Man,
So that's going to be a lot of damn fun,
Yup.
man. I can promise you that. All right. Let's get to some news you can use before our comedians get here, and we have to hang that up. Severe storms forecast in central Texas late tonight. Austin just recovered from a huge hailstorm that caused some damage and left a lot without power. Don't know that we'll catch any of that. We've had a little bit of rain, but not too bad.
ready for all this stuff to leave, man.
Do what?
I'm ready for it to get all out of here.
Yeah, me
Like,
too.
Dreary.
Faison Zaki is the winner of the Scripps National Spelling Bee. He was last year's runner-up. He won with the word, I'm not sure, eclaircissement. Merriam-Webster defines the word as a clearing up of something obscure. I couldn't have spelled that if you'd asked me to. The 13-year-old from Allen, Texas, had a chance to win in the 8th round, but he flubbed on the word camelina. Nonetheless, he was able to come back and secure that 50 large. He's only the 4th runner-up to go on and win the spelling bee the following year. So good for that kid.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah, he just got 50 large. Well, his
Man.
parents did.
Yeah. Trust fund.
Yeah, that's right. If there's, assuming there'll be some left, mom and dad have.
You were an expensive kid.
Yeah, no, we had to take care of you. You needed a nice place.
Yeah,
Mom
you had
and
to have
Dad
a roof over your
Yeah,
head.
you needed mom and dad take you around in a nice car, right? You didn't want to ride in a regular Camry
You
or
had to go
anything.
buy you a Lexus. You had to
Yeah.
ride in style,
No, the
man.
new one. Let's see. A new report says someone has been impersonating the president's chief of staff. Wall Street Journal said for the last few weeks, someone was sending text messages and making calls to politicians and business executives, pretending to be the chief of staff, Susie Wiles. The FBI is investigating the report. FBI Director Kash Patel said that safeguarding our administration officials' ability to securely communicate is a top priority. Well, I'm sure it is. Yeah, that's apparently somebody may have hacked the cell phone or something like that.
That's
the
wild,
contacts.
man.
Yeah, man, that is funny in a way. But Hormel Foods is recalling 250,000 pounds of canned beef stew. And if you're buying Hormel canned beef stew,
Man, you
what's
must
going on, man?
Having hard times.
Yeah, it's tough. But the nationwide recall due to potential contamination with wood fragments. So it'll say have a February 28 Best By date on it. It's Dinty Moore beef stew. Just throw it out.
With wood.
Yeah, with extra pulp.
That's disgusting.
The extra pulp, man. Let's see. No doubt this is shocking. The stalker of Jennifer Aniston was deemed not competent to stand trial. No shit. You mean stalkers are crazy?
Just
Yeah.
a little bit.
James Bond fans can score some memorabilia thanks to an auction. Heritage Auctions is hosting an upcoming auction of Agent 007 stuff. It's going to feature memorabilia spanning the character's history, both literary and cinematic. So some of the items include signed merchandise, posters, rare props from every Bond era with every actor to play the role: Connery, Moore, Dalton, Brosnan, Craig, even Lazenby. Let's see. Let's just click on this if we can. Let me see.
They always make it like you can own this. No, you can't. You can if you're a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
them prices are insane, probably, man.
Well, I don't know. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Damn it, mouse. Just cooperate.
Oh,
There it is. Let's see what it just says here. What? Well, it's not cheap. You're right.
yeah.
I mean,
see, man,
you
can't
know,
no ordinary
here's
person
a
go in there.
poster that started at It's at 500 right now. The starting bid was $1.
When's it end though?
I don't. When
'Cause
does it
it's
say
gonna
it
rack
ends?
up.
I'm not sure, but yeah, they'll keep stacking up here. Let's see what the coolest
Anything
stuff
that's
is.
signed or in the movie is gonna be out the roof. You know it is.
See there. Look at these James Bond.
Oh,
cool
now that's pretty
watches.
cool, man. To say you had James Bond's watches.
Yeah, it's 14 days left. $500 is the current bid, and it's 20 different watches that are James Bond watches.
That's pretty cool.
That is kind of dope, isn't it? So all kinds of stuff. You can go over to Heritage Auctions and look for the James. Just search for James Bond, and you'll find it there. If you're a big fan and that's something you want, that'd be great. People tend to dump odd things on the side of the road. Maryland find has heads turning. The county's Department of Public Works and Transportation posted a video yesterday showing employees removing a casket from the side of the road in Upper Marlboro. A resident called in the litter. Council member Calvin Hawkins ranked it as among the top 5 unbelievable calls he ever responded to. Authorities warn residents dumping funeral-related items on the roadside is not only messy but illegal. Good news, it was empty.
Yeah, that is really good news.
And maybe it just flipped out of the truck or came out of the truck, and they're pissed off. They don't even know it or didn't until they got home. And like, where is it?
That's gone.
Then it shows up on the news, and they're like, oh, shit, I ain't
There it
saying
is.
nothing. Yeah. The U.S. Court of International Trade's 3-judge panel in New York ruled yesterday that Trump's use of the 1977 International Emergency Economic Powers Act to justify widespread tariffs was unlawful. The court said Congress has the power to do that, not the president. But then just shortly later, a appeals court said, not so fast. Yeah, no, he can still do it for now. So, yeah, it's under review. You know how it's going to be. I mean, this is going to be the next 3 years. Court battles nonstop. You know that. Yeah, President Trump met with Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell at the White House yesterday, talk about the economy, including growth, employment, and inflation. He's often criticized him, and Powell emphasized the Federal Reserve decisions are based on economic data, not politics. Yeah, okay. You can believe it if you want. But Trump told him, hey, you need to lower it, point blank. He told him, and he does need to lower it.
And yeah, something needs to happen.
No, he should lower it. He knows he should lower it. They're holding out as long as they can. I don't like this guy. I've never liked him. I don't think he's a good Fed chairman. To be honest, I think he's missed the boat 3 or 4 times and caused us more pain than good with his rate adjustments or lack thereof. A report released yesterday by the Multilateral Sanctions Monitoring Team confirmed that North Korea has been sending weapons and troops to Russia to fight Ukraine, violating UN sanctions. So, you know what that means? Not a damn thing, really. Nope. You know, we'll tell them don't do it. They'll keep doing it, and that'll be that. Okay, here you go. 2 NYPD officers, including a detective on Mayor Eric Adams' security detail, put on modified duty this week after being linked to a kidnapping and torture case involving crypto businessman John Waltz and William Duplessis. The detective, a 20-year veteran, allegedly picked up an Italian tourist, Michael Valentino Teofrasto Carturin, from the airport May 6, driving him to a townhouse where he was held for 17 days and tortured for a Bitcoin password. The officers were working off duty for the suspects without NYPD approval. He escaped and sought help from another police officer. Waltz was arrested May 23rd and Duplessis May 28th. Unclear if they knew about the crime, it says. Yeah, no, that's crazy, man. The cops are torturing it. Man, they're trying to get paid. They're trying to get paid.
It's that Bitcoin.
Yeah, what's that password, bitch? Come on. You want that?
I'm surprised we ain't heard about more of that, truthfully. You know what I'm saying?
I know, right? Yeah, you would think so.
Yeah.
More and more you will, probably.
Mm-hmm.
A 28-year-old IT, get this shit, man. This is the kind of stuff you just go, man, where did the morons come from? How did they get here? A guy named Nathan Latch, he's a 28-year-old IT specialist at the Defense Intelligence Agency. That's our government.
Right.
He was arrested yesterday trying to share classified information with a foreign government. The FBI started investigating in March after a tip that Latch, who has a top secret clearance, offered to provide secret documents because he disagrees with the current administration's values.
That's treason.
Yeah, no, that is called treason, and suck it long and hard, bro. Stop. I don't like this administration, so I'm going to get foreign agencies and come on, man.
Come on now.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
These clowns. How did these people get in there? Just after graduating high school, Mikhail Baker went straight to work at Burger King in his cap and gown, where a customer spotted him and was inspired to start a crowd fund for his college future. Well, that campaign has raised over $50,000, allowing him to pursue technical college instead of taking a gap year to earn money. He expressed gratitude for the overwhelming support that's changed the course of his life.
That's awesome.
That's the good power of the internet.
That's dope.
Yeah, that's the good power of the internet. I think that is great. This is what's supposed to happen. During a flight from Tokyo to Houston, U.S. Marine Corps Sergeant Major Jody Armentrout restrained a passenger who appeared to be attempting to tamper with an exit door.
Oh, no.
He tackled the dude with the help of another passenger. They restrained him until the flight could be diverted. The Marine praised for his quick action while authorities continue to investigate. Yeah, I promise you, I see you trying to mess with the door. I'm tackling your ass.
All these airplane things are making me nervous, man.
They do. They make people nervous.
We leave in July. I'm like, man, I'm not wanting to fly this year. Can we not take a boat?
It just seems like there's something always going on, isn't there?
Man.
Whether it's with the plane or the people.
Man,
you know.
something.
Kings of Leon canceled a series of summer tour dates after their lead singer, Caleb Followhill, broke his foot in a freak accident playing with his kids. Said he shattered his heel and had to have emergency surgery in Nashville. Doctors advised him not to stand or travel for 8 weeks, so they've had to cancel quite a few shows. They'll be back soon enough, I'm sure. Former Red Hot Chili Pepper guitarist Josh Klinghoffer accepted a no-jail plea deal for a vehicular manslaughter charge. He was sentenced to 1 year of informal probation. I'm not sure what that is. and 60 days of community labor. He also has to complete a driver's safety class and pay restitution to be determined. He was allegedly distracted driving when he struck and killed Israel Sanchez, who was walking to the grocery store. Wow, a no jail
That's when
plea
that's not
for
right, man.
a year of informal probation and 60 days of community
I've
service.
been in some of that. That's nothing. That's
That is nothing.
nothing, man.
You took someone's life,
I've gotten more trouble of stealing something.
right?
Like for real, man.
I mean, I'm not saying, you should go to prison forever, but you
no,
did
man,
kill
but you
somebody.
killed somebody, man. I know that's got to be on your conscience the rest of
I
your
know
life,
it is, but still.
you got to do a little bit.
I mean, something more than that, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's going to feel, wow.
I wonder if they're going to sue for like wrongful death or something behind that.
I don't know. It's in England, so wasn't it in England? Let me double check that. I think that's in England. Yeah, it is. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, in upstate New York near Lake Placid in the Cascade Mountain. That's where some hikers thought, it would be a good idea, go hiking, enjoy some nature, and let's accentuate the experience and drop some shrooms.
Awesome times.
Yeah, no, this road trip ended up a bad trip. They called 911 to report to authorities that one of their friends was dead.
Oh, man.
When a park ranger arrived, it was clear they were in a, quote, altered mental state. So they called the friend who had supposedly died. He was alive and well. The shroom-enhanced hikers were then taken away by ambulance and introduced to friendly representatives of the New York State Police.
No.
That's a bad day right
That's a
there.
bad
Yeah,
trip.
you went out in the woods on shrooms. You know you're going to get lost. You're an idiot, man.
We used to do that, man.
Yeah, just go out into the woods.
Petty Jean. Oh, my
Really?
God. We used to have so much fun.
Did you ever get lost?
Oh, hell yes.
Yeah.
But we found our way back, but yeah, we always get off the trail. We get lost, bad lost. I remember one time it was getting dark, and I really was starting to freak out, and we found the trail like right before dark.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you were just panicked, like, oh God, we're gonna never.
We'd go out
make it
there.
out.
We got there at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning sometimes.
Oh, my God.
Barricades and stuff. Yeah, it was crazy. My friend fell off the barricades one year.
Oh.
Yeah, we had to have the helicopter come out there with the little harness and drop down there and pick him up and all this shit.
The worst thing I ever saw happen at Petty Jean is I had a girl that I went to school with. I knew her real well. I guess we kind of dated a little bit, but she took her son, who at the time was 5, to Petty Jean. You know where Mather's Lodge is, right?
Yes,
like
yes,
when you're
right
going to
on
walk
the
down
hill.
the trail.
Yeah.
So, you walk down that very, very long trail to get down to the waterfall. Well, sometimes you'll be walking on one path and below is another one.
Right.
Well, he was playing around and he fell off the top one down to the other one, which was about 3 feet down. Of all things, he landed on a rattlesnake. It bit him 3 times before he could even get off of it.
Damn.
Yeah, so they had to airlift him from right there at Mather's Lodge to the hospital.
That's
and
crazy, man.
his mom couldn't ride in the chopper with him. She had to drive. Can you imagine
Man,
that?
that'd be some scary stuff, man.
Man, that'd be horrible, wouldn't it? I mean,
Yes.
I can't
Not
even
knowing how
imagine.
your kid was.
Yeah, that
I
drive
couldn't
right
drive,
there.
man. I'd be. Mm-mm.
That drive right there is the most nerve-wracking
Yes.
drive you ever took in your life, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, luckily he's okay. He was okay, and he still is okay. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, what would make a 2-hour delay while stuck on a plane even worse? For passengers on a delayed Delta flight in Orlando, that very well could have been when a young girl was given access to the plane's intercom system so she could sing a Disney song.
No.
Yeah, video's been trending of the unnamed girl treating her fellow passengers to her rendition of How Far I'll Go from Moana. Some parents might get all weepy-eyed by the adorable factor, but others saw the video and called it their worst nightmare and a reason not to get a real ID. Yeah, don't hand some little girl the intercom and let her start singing
man.
Disney songs. Hell no, man. I got to sit there for 2 hours?
No.
No, you better give me a movie or something.
Something, man.
Where are those shrooms?
Some
Now I'll
gummies.
take them. Yeah. Yeah, I'll take them now. Over in a Dutch weather forecaster says Belgium is stealing their wind.
What?
Yeah, this is a new term, wind theft. The Netherlands claim Belgium is reducing their wind energy by putting wind farms in the North Sea southwest of Dutch turbines. So a Dutch weather forecaster said the winds that come from the southwest, well, their turbines catch the wind first, slowing it down so it never reaches the Netherlands. The expert says that the theft of the wind by Belgium results in Dutch wind farms getting weak winds and producing not enough energy. Uh-oh. We got climate change on climate change fix battles here. Yeah,
That's
now-
our wind.
Yeah, now you got wind. Come on, man. Stop playing around people with
This
the
is
stupid
crazy.
shit. It is stupid, man. It's
Like,
real stupid.
I wonder if it's gonna like eventually like start wars and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, the wind wars.
yeah, like you're stealing our stuff, and
Yeah.
you know our sun. You're stealing our sun. Or, you know what I'm saying?
I can't wait to fight over some wind. Let's line up. 4 well-known psychics, Baba Vanga, Nostradamus, Athos Salome, and Nicholas Ajula, all made predictions for 2025. As you can imagine, they're
Never
not
good.
pleasant. Baba Vanga, a Bulgarian mystic, saw devastating earthquakes caused by climate change and a major war in Europe that would mark the start of humanity's downfall. Nostradamus, you know who he is,
Yeah.
predicted a harsh war involving the United Kingdom and the return of a deadly plague similar to COVID. Brazilian psychic Athos Salome, known as the living Nostradamus, warned of an approaching World War III that he says will be made worse by cyber warfare. And Nicholas Ajula, a London-based hypnotherapist, predicted a rise in violence based on religion and nationalism, and that World War III would begin mid-2025. So all 4 of them say, hey, you're probably going to die.
That's what they all say always.
Yeah,
though,
no,
man.
that's exactly right. They all say that all
And
the
they
time.
always twist it up so you can't really tell exactly what they're saying. You're like, oh, a bird will fly from the skies.
Do you
and
know how
da-da-da-da.
long they've been saying the end times are here? The end is near.
Yeah.
Yeah, since the moment Jesus left, people are saying every year. Yeah, it's time. The end times are here. Yeah, okay.
It can't get no worse than this. Oh,
Yeah, I'll just wait. I'll keep waiting. How about that? Another scientist, Ray Kurzweil, now he is what you call a futurist. He's predicting that humans will start going back in time, but he's talking about aging. Ray Kurzweil predicts by 2029 humans could start living longer than they age, a concept called longevity escape velocity. He thinks medical advances are going to add more than a year to life expectancy for each year that passes. So if you're 25 now, by 30, your life expectancy might be 80. By 31, it'd be 81.
They are coming out with a lot of new stuff, man.
Well, that's what he's saying, you know, with all the different, you know, new things they've come out with, all the new simulated biology.
China came out with new blood. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, they
what
have
are
like
you
a
talking about?
simulated blood. It's like a blue blood, but they can. You don't have to be an AB. You know what I'm saying? There's no kind of. It's
like
a
universal.
universal blood.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But yeah, China's inventing blood.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy.
So, I mean, like they're coming up with some stuff.
I mean, there's a lot of different things coming up right now. I mean, you know, where they're close to.
They say they got vaccines that kills like 6 different kinds of cancer.
Yeah,
now and
yeah,
stuff.
all
I mean,
kinds
you're
of
starting
stuff,
to see some stuff, man.
I think he's probably right. Here in the next 10 years, you're going to see some pretty significant changes.
Jumps, I
Yeah.
think.
And because people are, you know, they're wise, they're starting to go, oh, we need to fix this.
Well, what gets me is you'll see something like they'll show a guy with like an artificial heart on like a backpack, and he's been doing this for like 5 years, like 10 years ago. I'm like, why is this stuff not out yet? You know what I'm
well,
saying? Like
use
you're
that
helping
test.
this one dude. Like, why not help out the mass?
Well, apparently he's a test case, I guess. Huh?
Test on everybody.
Right? Michael Prislicka charged with carrying a dangerous weapon for an unusual reason. Police officers in Iowa City noticed he had a sword with a 28-inch metal blade concealed on his back under his coat. The sword wasn't fully covered. The tip was visible at the top of the jacket and part of the handle sticking out at the bottom.
Just the tip.
Right. When he was questioned, he confirmed that the sword belonged to him. Well, no shit, it's on his back. It's in his coat. What do you think? It
He's
just
a
fell
Ninja
there?
Turtle, man.
The charge he faces is specifically for being ineligible to carry a dangerous weapon due to previous felony convictions.
So you can't even have a knife if you have a.
Well, he had a sword, not a knife, and he's already out on probation. I mean, what are you doing walking in public with a sword, Chief? You're on probation.
Oh man,
Come on.
I can't have a gun, so I carry a sword.
Yeah, and carry a sword. That's great. That's fantastic. All right, let's do a little bit of sports stuff. You've been watching the NBA?
Yes, I have.
What have you been thinking about it?
Man, I think Oklahoma's got it this year. Oh, I think it's going to be a really good game, like what we were talking about earlier. Pacers and Oklahoma City's is going to
You
be.
you think the Pacers? I know New York won last night.
I know they're still in it.
And
but
so what is it? Is it 2-1 or 3-1?
3-1, I'm pretty sure.
So yeah, they'd have to win 3 in a row.
No, it's 3-2. They won 2.
Okay,
They
so-
remember that one? They were acting all
Okay.
crazy.
Well,
in
they'd
New
still
York,
have to
so
win 2 in a row.
last night was their last hurrah for the New York.
I think so too. I think it's going to be Pacers, Oklahoma, and I'm just not sure. I'm still riding the Pacers wagon right now. I don't know, man. I do love SGA, but
SGA's fire, man.
man, he is. That whole team's
Chet,
great.
Like
Yeah,
their
Chet
center.
Holmgren,
Yeah,
he's
like
great.
They got some.
But
yeah.
Indiana's scrappy, young.
Man, they are,
and they
man.
They might be giant.
It's going to be a good game, man.
I think it's going to be you know what? It's a different finals than we've seen.
Exactly.
And I love that.
Yes, young teams we haven't seen in the finals
Yeah,
in
I
a long,
think it's
long
great,
time.
man.
Knicks hadn't been in there since like the 90s or something
Yeah,
like that.
since Patrick Ewing was in, and he didn't even get one because
Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan stopped so many people, including Patrick Ewing and John Starks, from getting
Isaiah
championships.
Thomas, man, there's a list goes on.
Oh
and
no,
on
there's
and
a
on
lot
and
of
on.
crying people from Stockton Malone.
The bitch don't have that problem.
What you talking about, man? Little bitch. Yesterday, tickets for 3 London NFL games in London, England went on sale, but that sale had to be halted. Ticketmaster announced that the thing for tickets was halted after, quote, bad actors were identified. That means bots that infiltrated it and were trying to buy tickets so that the scalpers can get more money out of them.
Man, I used to work them bots.
Did you?
I had sneaker bots that'd go in there and buy shoes for me when I was
Really?
Oh, hell yeah. I bought PlayStations one year when nobody could get PlayStation 5s, 4s.
Where do you get bots at, man?
Man, I'll talk to you after the show.
Yeah, please do. I'd like to learn more about this. I might have some bot work I need to get. I hadn't considered that until this very moment.
It's
and now,
awesome. You wake up and it's already done.
No,
for
no,
you.
I like hearing this already. Yeah, this could be really good. It seems the SEC has finally thrown up its hands when it comes to stopping enthusiastic fans from storming the court or the field after a big win. Instead, they decided to deal with the issue by adjusting fines and clarifying times when fans can enter the field to play. The commissioner says that all field or court storming violations will be met with a fine of $500,000, but fines could be waived if a school prevents any fan contact with opposing players, staffers, or officials. In the past, when a big win seemed imminent, announcements had been made letting fans know they'd be permitted to storm the court 90 seconds after the buzzer, which gave opponents and officials time to get to their locker rooms and prepare for any potentially dangerous situation going
That's
forward.
part of storming the court, though. You want to be on there with the athletes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no,
it
you're
kind of
right.
loses its,
Yeah, you're probably right.
like, wait. And then it's, no.
I don't know. What is it that happens when they storm the court? Have people been injured? The players?
A couple players have almost got hurt.
Oh, okay. So they have.
That's when they're starting to kick
I
back
got
on
you.
it.
Okay. Expansion of March Madness appears to be a foregone conclusion. Could happen as soon as this coming tournament. Really? NCAA President Charlie Baker said that March Madness expansion is a top priority. Likely the 2026 tournament will either see 72 or 76 teams. Man, I mean, is that everybody?
Just about. I mean,
Oh, we've got guests here. I tell you what, we've had enough sports talk. We'll be back in just a minute, everybody.
Wayne just showed crack.
Mayday, we are trapped in the swells too many. Enough voices to fill an ocean, but I hear you calling my name. In a blender of nothing but emotion, but I feel you the same. In the hours and days before, you traveled on quiet seas. The crashing waves are hard to ignore, but just keep holding me. You find yourself drowning in the middle of the moment. No matter your surroundings, don't let yourself get bent. I know all that came before. Every one of them let you down. I'll be the hero you're looking for. No across the continent, and send your feet can no longer plow as heavy as cement. If your throat passed bone dry 70 miles ago, just trust in me and I will make sure the water flows. You find yourself drowning in the middle of the moment. No matter your surroundings, don't let yourself get bent. I know all that came before. Every one of them let you down. I'll be the hero you're looking for. No matter how high the waves pound. Able and willing, when I reach up, going past the ceiling, I see all the double dealing, but all the facade always peeling. This day there would be no kneeling. We'll hit 'em so hard they'll damn sure be reeling. The enemy's tomb, yeah, that's what we're sealing. On any calendar, any day, any month, any year, whatever heel comes your way, I'm 2 feet down and never met fear. No one and nothing stands in our way. You find yourself drowning in the middle of the moment. No matter your surroundings, don't let yourself get bent. I know all that came before. Every one of them let you down. I'll be the hero you're looking for. No matter how high the waves pound.
Yeah, that's right. Now, listen, we've got a new guest here, but I put something together here so I could introduce him to you. So let me play this real quick for you.
I want you to meet a comedian. He may be really, really rich.
He said, "Oh wow."
2 million followers on TikTok. Screaming, this ain't your slogan, bitch. Yeah, I said 1,000,000 times too. I know you think I'm stretching this, but go over to Carter Anderson Comedy. Yeah, who's wrong now, bitch? Oh shit, you say now.
He's already saying.
Oh, I know this guy. Mr. Talking Eyes and Mouth. Then give him a follow, mother lover.
Welcome to the show, Carter.
I don't, that was amazing.
Well, I appreciate that, man.
You wrote that and produced that all yourself?
I did,
You didn't
man.
have like Randy Jackson helping?
I don't have Randy Jackson. I do not, man. I know that's a hit to you, yeah. That's a super hit right there.
Oh my God, you need to put that on Spotify.
Oh, it's
immediately.
already there.
Okay.
Yeah,
you
it had, had 100,000 downloads this morning.
He's waiting for his Grammy.
Yeah, it's a hit now on iHeart.
Oh yeah, you're gonna beat out Beyonce for
What's
sure.
going on, man? How are you? Welcome to the show, brother.
Hey man, thank you so much for having me.
Man,
That's awesome.
I'm stoked to have you here, man. It truly is Carter Anderson, and if you check out Carter Anderson Comedy on TikTok, you may very well know his videos. They trend all over the place. I mean, man, you how did you even get into all that?
Well, I mean, I've been a comedian for 10 years. So, like, I started in 2015, and then the panini bread happened.
I didn't tell you don't put that on there, or it'll cause feedback. My bad.
But then the panini bread, happened in 2020.
Yeah,
and,
right.
Everybody had to like go inside, and so then I started to get on TikTok,
Yeah.
and like it was 2 years before I found like my thing. So I would just do videos and like just trial and error, just try videos, try series, and just see what works. And it was a really, really, really long time before I found the thing that like works.
Like would click, that would,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
would rinse and repeat.
Yeah. So I saw a couple videos where people were putting their eyes and mouth on random things and stuff like that, and I was like, wonder if I could do that with, like, food. So I thought, like, maybe I could do that with Chick-fil-A and Popeyes and have them
Arguing, right?
Yeah, and that was the first video to
That
like
blew
go
up.
viral. Yeah,
Yeah.
And then after that, like, it was like McDonald's and Burger King, and then
See, you had a much better concept. I had on TikTok, I had one that did 3.5 million views, and I was like, man, I finally made it. And
yeah.
Then 10 videos after that, I was like, I did not make it.
yeah,
It's like I've done this 8 different ways now, and none of them are working. You know?
I will say this about the whole going viral thing. It's not like going viral is great, but that's not what will keep you like fed. You know,
Yeah.
like my videos where, like, you know, sometimes I only get like 250,000 like views.
Is that
like
all?
that.
Only,
Yeah,
only 250.
I'm
I'm
just
good to
tough-
get
tough out there
250.
in the desert there. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
But those are the ones that like kind of keep you fed throughout
Right.
like the month and stuff like that. You
No,
know?
right. It's the totality of your content. You're going to have some that are super viral, and then others that just do good, solid numbers that keep you in the game and keep people spreading it. Right.
Yeah. Like those are the ones that like kind of like people are like, oh man, you're coming to San Antonio. Oh, you're coming to Little Rock. Oh, okay. Like
Right.
yeah.
Right.
And that's like, you know, like it's not just about like, you know, making the money from like, you know, TikTok. It's about like promoting my shows.
Well, obviously, yeah.
Right, yeah.
One hand feeds the other. That's what's supposed to happen anyway, right?
Yeah.
So tell me this. You say you've been doing stand-up for 10 years. So I know at some point when you were young, there was a comedian that you saw that, you know, really spoke to you and you went, man, I want to do that. That's what I want to do.
There were definitely a lot of those. Here, let me see if I can do this.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Yeah. I would say one of the big ones was Martin Lawrence.
Okay.
Like, you know, like Def Comedy Jam, like, you know,
Oh, man.
that was
Yeah.
my thing back in the 90s when I was growing up.
Sure. It was huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was huge. But then I would also like watch stuff like Frasier. I would watch Frasier. So I was watching, and it's funny because they were both shows about radio. Like, you know,
Right.
like it was the Martin show and then Frasier, and they both like one very different from each other. You know, like Frasier was just this pretentious nerd douche kind of guy.
Right.
And then, you know, Martin was just like sort of wilding out, like just sort of like a black Seinfeld.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, very much. Yeah.
And and they both just sort of influenced me, and that's when I realized, oh, I want to do like TV. I want to be like, you
I
know,
wanna
on
entertain,
people's
yeah.
screens. You know,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't know that I was going to end up doing this. You know,
You
I
didn't
had
know
no-
it'd be stand-up.
Yeah.
Right. So how did you get your first stand-up gig then?
My first stand-up gig ever was for a comedian named Shane Torres. Like, he's kind of big all over. He's been on Chelsea lately and
Yeah.
been on all the late-night shows and
Sure.
stuff like that. Yeah, I opened for him back in 2015. It was at a show in Abilene, Texas. Abilene, Texas is like you're going
Nowhere.
west. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
literally nowhere.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cities in Texas that are just in the middle of nowhere.
Yes, there sure are. Most of them are in the
Yeah,
middle
most
of
of
nowhere.
nowhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
People think of Texas, you think of like Austin, San Antonio. There's no, those aren't the ones that like, you know, that you need to worry about. Those are the ones that
No,
there's
it's when
just
you go
nothing
out
going
to
on.
perform in Lubbock. That's when you like, okay.
Oh man, I made it to Lubbock.
Yeah.
I got that Lubbock money now. Whatever, they got oil. You know?
They do have oil.
Yeah. But I did that show. I did like 10 minutes. I did not have 10 minutes yet. Like, I didn't have any honest
minutes, yeah.
materials. You know, like your first like year or so, you don't really have a whole lot of like good working material. Like, you
So
just don't
did
know
you
what you're
just
doing.
decide at some point you were going to do stand-up and you asked to do that, or someone had seen you somewhere and said, hey, would you like to do this? How did that gig even happen?
Honestly, I was just doing open mics. I was
Okay.
doing open mics, and then let's see, I can't remember the name of the guy, but he saw me and was like, "Hey, would you like to like open for Shane Torres? He needs like 5 comedians, like that are worse than him
Yeah.
to go up first, and then he goes up there and like kills it. And
Right.
then, but yeah, we went up there and we did our thing and it was pretty good. But then like the crowd kind of turned on him because like they're all just a bunch of really angry whites. Like I don't know, like they're just, I know y'all wouldn't know anything about that here in Arkansas.
No.
That's just
Never. They don't.
Never-
Just
no.
ignore the fact my name's Angry Patrick. Nothing to do with anything.
I figured that was kind of like when you name like a small dog giant, or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, no, it's very similar. That's
yeah,
right.
just
It's exactly
being
right.
ironic. Oh, it's,
No,
it's
it's
clever.
really, I'm super.
Oh man.
But yeah, they just, I don't know. He made like a joke that they didn't like, and then all of a sudden they all just like turned into the Apollo in the '90s. And
Oh,
it was
yeah,
just
just
like
lost
they just,
their mind.
and just completely went off on him. But it was still a fun show, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, I could do this. And I saw him get paid at the end of it, and I was like, oh man. I
Yeah,
could
you
do
still
this.
got paid.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember we've talked about it a couple times with a comedian or two, but when Bill Burr did that turn in Philadelphia, have you seen that before? The clip where he just goes at the crowd and just
Yeah.
destroys them.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
No.
Yeah,
No, the beauty of that was that they all loved it by the end. But what a master class in turning it that was. But yeah, I've been at some comedy shows and seen some things go amok. One time I was doing stand up and they asked me to open for a guy, and his name was what was his first name? I'm trying to think of what it is. It's something Downey Jr., not Robert. But another Downey Jr. I'm trying to remember what it was, but they brought him out to a place here in Arkansas called Searcy, which is it's pretty rural.
Okay.
And they asked him if he wanted to try some moonshine before the show. And,
hell yeah.
and, oh hell no, you don't.
No, you don't do
this
that?
This ain't the moonshine you're drinking from the liquor
No.
store. This was the shit somebody made in a still somewhere.
Yeah.
This guy's lucky that he's alive. But yeah, he couldn't even, he got about 15 minutes into his set and couldn't do any more. And they were like, can you come back up? And I was like, no, that's not protocol, not doing it. So when you started doing stand up, you said, hey, I didn't even have, a minute of good stand up.
Yeah.
How did you develop your stand up? How does your process work? Do you write it? Do you just think about it? How does that work for you to develop a joke in a set?
I would say it kind of you just kind of go through experiences. I think one of the best advice I got was someone was like, hey, you need to like experience life. Don't just like go to open mics and not do anything else during the day. You need to like, be around friends. You need to have experiences. Like, things need to happen to you.
Particularly bad ones.
Yeah, bad stuff needs to happen to you.
Yeah.
And then you can turn that into humor. That's the key.
It really, you know what? My wife, when I started mentoring her in stand up, I told her, I said, listen, you're going to come to a place where everything's going to go wrong in a moment, and you're going to click, I need to start logging this for stand up. This is now stand up,
Yeah.
and that's true, man. As soon as it goes wrong, my brain clicks to, yeah, this is going to be a joke somehow.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, the things that, like, I live in New York now, and I live, like, all over the place. And in New York, already a bunch of crazy things have happened to me.
Yeah.
Like, I got hit by a car a month ago. I got
Really?
hit by a Tesla.
By a Tesla, even.
Yeah.
You didn't even hear it coming.
Yeah. It was just really, really quiet. They're very efficient. Like,
Yeah,
and I was riding on an e-bike, too. It was really just
Oh
the most...
man.
Can it get more New York
Right.
than that? I'm on an e-bike.
Did you have a
hit by
Starbucks?
Tesla.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you just left Starbucks? That's right.
And it was just so bad. Like it was like a white dude in the Tesla. Like he hit me, and then he drove off. And I was like, man, how are you gonna be
He
racist?
took off. Even?
Angry white guy.
Yeah, how you gonna be racist and environmentally conscious at the same time?
No, that doesn't seem to jive real well, does it?
How you like dolphins but don't like black people? Like,
Right. I love saving the planet, except for black people.
Except for today.
Yeah. No, we're not going to do that.
So things like that happen, and then you just like take that and you can either turn it into like a lawsuit that will go on for like years,
and you don't
or
get
you can
anything.
turn it into like, a 5-minute bit.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
you know,
And that
it's-
was, I'm sure, a beautiful 5-minute bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, if people come out to see you at the Looney Bin, may they hear about that possibly?
Yeah, they'll probably like tonight's the Friday show, so obviously more effort.
I don't know what that means.
So yeah, the Friday and the Saturday. Yeah, no, but yeah, like it's 2 shows tonight, so yeah, I'm probably definitely gonna do that one.
Yeah.
Probably for both shows.
Okay.
Yeah, because people need to hear
Now,
about that.
where did you say you were born?
I was born in San Antonio, Texas.
Okay, so that's a big departure from New York, obviously.
Yes,
A lot of people talk about crime in New York and how difficult it is right now. How has your experience been like that, or is it just New York?
Honestly, like my experience in New York is I wasn't completely sure that the Matrix existed until I got to New York.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, I'm pretty sure. I'm
Yeah.
like, because nothing there seems real. Nothing like, when you deal with stuff in like San Antonio, I'm like, San Antonio, like, man, I freaking hate it here and all that. But then you go to New York and like nothing there seems real at all. Like I literally, like the pigeons don't fly. The pigeons don't fly. They just walk
They just
around.
walk.
They just walk around like fat Italians. They just I saw a pigeon get on the subway. He waited for 2 stops and then he got off.
He knew where he was going.
Yeah, he was like, and I made a comment about that, and they were like, man, well, he had somewhere to fucking be, man. Like,
Literally, he needed to get there faster.
yeah, nothing.
Flying's not gonna work today.
Nothing in New York is real. But then I think about like places like beautiful Arkansas, and I'm like, nah, this wasn't made by the Matrix. Like,
No, this definitely
this was-
isn't the
this was-
Matrix. This is it.
This was made by a very conservative God
Yeah,
that does
That's
not
right.
drink Bud Light.
that is correct. That is absolutely that is right. Yeah, and sitting to his right is Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Right.
Exactly.
My brother lived in New York for about 5 years. He went to a school there called AMDA, the American Music and Drama Academy.
Oh, hell yeah.
And it's not made him rich. But anyway, he said when he was there, he said, man, it was impossible for me to live by myself. I had to have roommates because it was so much more expensive. Has that been an experience for you, or have you been able to do okay enough to not have to deal with that?
Well, I have a roommate, but she makes my life way more expensive. It's my wife.
Oh,
was gonna say, yeah,
that'll do it.
yeah.
That's
yeah.
completely understandable.
So moving out to New York was her idea.
This makes sense now.
Because I'm already have been sort of a viral comedian for a while now. So
Yeah.
and most of my shows I tour. I don't just do shows in one city.
No,
I do
you're going all
showcases
over,
and things
yeah.
like that. But I'm just so I can do that anywhere. I could do my TikToks from anywhere.
Right,
I make my
obviously.
videos in my pajamas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but my wife was like, I really want to live in New York. I think this would be the perfect time to do this. And I was like, no, absolutely not. I don't make enough money for that. And you don't definitely don't make enough money for that. There's no way that we can live in New York. We're not moving to New York. So we moved to New York.
Right. 6 months later.
Right.
Yeah.
We found a place in Bed-Stuy. And so Bed-Stuy is where Biggie grew up.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So it's
Brooklyn.
the real, Brooklyn. It's the real shit.
Yeah.
And you will see things.
Are you
okay?
affiliated with a particular gang now, or just? No, I'm kidding.
What so what I do is I'm an accountant for multiple gangs.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
You know what they call me? Digits.
Digits. That's what's up.
Digits, man.
They're like, oh shit, Digits is coming. All right.
Yeah, get your shit ready.
Them papers ready.
Get your
Yeah, it's
receipts
gonna
out,
be
man.
It's gonna be a drive-by auditing. Get your graphic calculators.
That's right. That's right. Bitch just got hit with a scientific calculator. Everybody, obviously, and look, you've been doing the internet thing longer than a lot of people have.
Yeah.
And doing it right and well.
Mm-hmm.
But now everybody wants to do the internet thing, right?
Yeah.
Why is it everybody cannot succeed?
I mean, this country is built on people that had dreams and did not achieve them, okay? Not everybody can be successful. We can't just let everybody.
No, that's true.
Olive Garden needs to stay staffed. Like,
That's the greatest
And that-
answer ever.
and it needs to be staffed by people that tried to like become an actor or like tried to become like whatever, and then they failed. So or are failing currently,
Yeah.
and they're like, this is just sort of my day job. What I'm trying to be is like, a radio star. I'm trying to be like a singer, and then
Yeah.
they never become a singer. Like,
Yeah,
they
no,
don't.
that sounds like most people. Yeah, absolutely. All of a sudden,
And
it does.
it's just one of those things. Like I got like very lucky, and like I don't know. Like I made the dumbest videos ever, and then I put them out on TikTok, and I put them out, and mainly Americans saw them, and were
Yeah.
like, and America, we dumb, we dumb. And I include myself in that. I had to take geography twice in
No,
high
if you
school.
go to Europe, if you go to Europe, you'll find most everybody speaks 2 or 3 languages. Here, you're lucky if we speak one well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if I did like my stand up in like England or some shit like that, they'd be like, "This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I don't understand what's wrong with you.
Right,
Is he mentally challenged?
Yeah, no, they would.
Sausage and bean patty. I don't know what they have there. I don't know for food. I don't think they have good food. Like,
No, I understand they don't, but I've not been there either.
yeah, but I don't know. I don't think everybody. One of the reasons that not everybody is going to be successful at social media, because I talk to comedians about this all the time. I preach about it. I preach about it at like open mics. I preach about it when I'm doing like showcases. I'm like, yeah, you got to get on social media and you got to post every day.
You have to be consistent.
You have to be consistent, and no one is consistent. Like I have like comedian friends that have been on the Tonight Show. They've been on the Late Night Show, the Late Late Show, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
They've been on things that have notoriety.
Right.
They have performed in front of Jimmy Fallon.
Yes.
They've been on Jay Leno's show. Like they've
Yeah.
been on Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend, but then they have like 8,000 followers on Instagram. That makes 0 sense. And so like, a lot of like, people, one of the reasons that they won't make it is because of laziness. Other reasons is just because maybe that's just not what they're meant to do.
Yeah, you may not be funny or compelling. I mean,
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah,
not
yeah.
everybody is funny or compelling. Matter of fact, most people who think they can be comedians probably aren't.
I think when it comes to comedy, especially, you can make it even if you're not really that funny. If you put in the work and if you meet the right people, and if you stay consistent, you stay on that social media grind.
Yeah.
And I mean,
And I know people like that who I personally think, they're not really that funny, but they are working hard.
and they're like self-sustainable. Maybe
Yeah.
they're not the most famous comedian in the world, but you see them all over. Everybody has a Kenny Banya.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Kenny Banya was this character in Seinfeld, like it was like Seinfeld's like anti-friend, who was like the worst comedian ever, but he always had a spot
Yeah.
like next to Jerry, and he'd be like, "Hey, Jerry," Everybody knows a Kenny Banya, There was a time when I was that Kenny Banya. I'm pretty sure I'm that now, But honestly, I don't even mind that. Like my goal in life as a comedian is to become so successful that I'm no longer funny because I'm just ridiculously out of touch. Like,
Right.
I
No,
just,
and,
like-
and that can happen.
yeah,
that can
like
happen.
I want like people to like after they hear like my comedy like 10 years from now to be like Carter might be a war criminal like
Yeah, no, I mean, there are a lot of comedians out right now who I still have a lot of respect for, but I think you're right. When you get to a certain point, you're out of touch, and your comedy starts to become about your rich friends and nothing else.
yeah.
It changes the game.
Yeah.
It loses the common man, common woman appeal to it in some ways, right?
Yeah, it would be really hard because I mean it's not even their fault. Like
No,
they made it.
I don't blame
This
them.
is a good thing. They have been blessed.
Right.
Just quit now.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Because Steve Martin quit. He quit and was like, I mean, he still is like on TV and
Right.
stuff, but he stopped doing stand up because he was like, I've gone as high as I can. There's no way that anyone will be able to understand what the hell I'm talking about.
And I never was a fan of his stand-up, but I'm certainly a fan of what he did because honestly, Steve Martin revolutionized comedy by taking
Yeah.
it as he did to big venues and things like that. Nobody was doing that then.
Yeah, I mean, he was a modern day absurdist,
Yeah.
Yeah, like his stuff was just completely off the wall. Like it literally, you have to break it down in so many ways for it to make any kind of sense. You know, it's kind of like Commedia dell'arte. You
Yeah.
know, or like the Three Stooges.
It was very
Charlie Chaplin.
avant-garde
Yeah,
comedy.
yeah, it's very avant-garde. Like it's kind of like in your face, but weird. You know, like so.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like whites in the '70s were like all over that.
They,
Shit.
they were crazy, man. They did, you know, a lot of cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Man,
Yeah,
it's
it
a
was
good one.
pure back then.
No,
Oh, man.
untouched, unstomped
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
The real
yeah.
good things
your
happen.
face
By the
going
time
on.
I was born in '86,
No,
they
it
were
was
already starting to stomp
Too
on
much
it. Like
baby
you know,
aspirin,
yeah.
baby likes if you just shit yourself. And so let me ask you this: you know, in your travels and travails and all of the things that happen, you've certainly, you know, run into a lot of people whom you may not have expected to. Very, you know, well-known people.
Yeah.
There has to be a moment where you're standing there going, "Man, this is not my life. I'm not standing next to this person." Who was that person?
I would say Leslie Jones. So
From SNL.
Yeah, from SNL, like literally a fucking Ghostbuster. Like,
Yeah,
you know.
she's funny as hell, man.
Yeah, she's funny. She has been doing it like so long. Like,
Yes.
I don't mean to like make her sound old, but she is like she like
No, I mean,
she's
clearly,
been
yeah.
out here doing it for a very long time. But like we became friends on Instagram.
Okay.
Okay, so she's been following me for a couple of years now, like pretty much since the beginning of like the like Taco Bell saga.
Right.
And yeah, she's been kind of giving me like advice throughout the years, like, hey, these are the things that you need to do. And you know, like when I got out to San Antonio, when I got out to New York, she was one of the first shows that I did. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I did her show, and honestly, it wasn't really that good. I kind of ate dick on her show. Like,
Really?
It was really bad. It was really bad because I just did like a 5-minute set. Like now, I'm at a point where I'm touring. So I'm performing in front of my audience. I'm performing
Right.
in
There are
front of
people
my
that know you, love you.
There are people that follow me
They
on TikTok,
came to see you.
Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all that. They follow me. They came to see me.
Right.
They coming to see me. They coming to see the Temptations. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. Like that's
Right,
what it's
right,
like.
right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
I'm David Ruffin. All right. They come to see me.
Right. No, I got you, brother.
But then I performed in front of her audience and did 5 minutes, and I didn't
They
necessarily
didn't come
pick
to
my
see
best.
you.
Yeah, they didn't come to see me, and I didn't pick my best 5 minutes. I just picked stuff that I was like, I think they'll think this is funny, and it just completely bombed. They didn't like boo me. It wasn't like the Apollo or anything
No,
like that.
it's much
just,
worse.
It was just silent. It was
Politely quiet.
which is worse.
The way worse. I'd
It's
rather
so
you
much-
boo me.
And so after the show, like, her writer, Lenny Marcus, was like, yeah, man, you got to tighten up. Like, this isn't like Kansas City, Missouri or something like that. You got to
damn.
really be like, you really
Crispy,
be on
yeah.
top of your stuff, And then she gave me some notes and was like, there are so many things that you do in your videos that people love that if you did that on stage, if you incorporated that on stage,
Yeah.
it would be hilarious. Like, I don't understand why the Carter Anderson in your videos isn't the same Carter Anderson on stage, because even with your like followers, I imagine they would kind of want to see some form of that. I don't know how you can do that.
Yeah, how do I put the eyes and lips on myself?
Yeah, and I'm slowly starting to like kind of figure that out. So I like changed my voice
Yeah.
to the voice that I use on my videos.
Right.
So now like when I'm on there, I'm like, bitch, I'm the best like Chick-fil-A in the whole world. Okay, every single one of you, man, fuck all you fake ass bitches.
Right.
So I do the voice, and then and some of the stand-up is the same, but it's also made writing a little bit easier.
Right.
So then I got back out there, started doing mics and shit like that, and then I got a audition for a residency, which is where you just get to be a regular at a club out in New York. Right. And I did that for the Greenwich Comedy Club and the Broadway Comedy Club. So just went up there. I brought 5 people, and a bunch of other people brought 5 people. It's like 20 of us. And you just go up there, you do 5 minutes. It's a tight 5. If you go over, then you're eliminated or whatever. Mm-hmm. And, they don't fuck with you anymore. I went up there, killed it. And then, like, a week later, the guy called me up and was like, hey, so first of all, we're going to give you the residency. So, you get
That's
to come
dope. Yeah,
regularly.
that's
but,
dope.
Yeah, and he was like, hey, there are some things, you want to tighten up here. And I'm just, like, continually learning. So that was a really important point, and it was all because of Leslie Jones.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was really dope that, she didn't just blow it off and say, see you later, that she took a moment to go, here, let me give you some actual feedback that could be helpful.
Yeah. She's like, actually was like, no, this was bad.
Yeah.
But I know he's funny.
Yeah, yeah.
I know he's funny.
Just luckily for you, she
Yeah.
was already a fan, so to speak, of what your content was. She was just saying, you need to marry this to what you're doing here,
Yeah.
and bring it all together to make it work, which apparently was salient advice.
Yeah, it was actually very good. I mean, like, she's like a freaking warrior. Like,
Yeah, no
she's
doubt.
a goddamn assassin. She's been doing this for like 30 years.
Yeah, she's a killer.
Yeah, she has been a killer like the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and she's definitely, but she, has had those moments too where like people like, she bombed in front of like, really significant people.
Right.
But then they came back and told her, hey man, you are funny. Just so you know, you are funny. You just need to go in and like experience some things and then come back and then
Bring this perspective, this lens to it, you know.
yeah.
So, who are some of the of your favorite comics who are, big in the scene? Who are a couple favorites of yours?
like people that are big in the scene right now.
Yeah, today.
Let's see. I'm a really big fan of Angela Johnson.
Yeah, I love Angela, man. She's got a lot of energy. I really like her.
She's so great, and she has just been consistent for like so long. And she's one of those comics where like she's a clean comic. I'm
Yeah.
not a clean comic.
Nor
I'm
am
not- Yeah, but
I'm not explicit, but I'm just not clean.
Yeah, like you just sometimes you want to say fuck.
Yeah, that's correct.
Gotta come out.
No, that's exactly right.
It's like I do cuss a little. Like, what's your favorite cuss word? Probably fuck.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty great one.
Yeah, but
in many different variations. Yeah,
absolutely, but she's just one of those clean comics where you don't even know that she's clean because she's
she's
just
so
so
funny.
She's
Yeah.
so funny, and I love clean comics like that because there are some where you can kind of like totally tell.
yeah. I think
This
Brian Regan was kind of along those lines. Jim Gaffigan, some people would say, is along those lines.
Yeah,
although
yeah.
I'm Gaffiganed out, but I still love it. I think he's great.
I love him. Like he's
I mean, if you make a joke about ketchup, then you can pretty much do, or Hot Pocket, you can about do anything,
Oh yeah. But I mean, Hot Pockets do like piss us all off.
Everybody, yeah.
Everybody. Like,
Now, from yesteryear, who's a comedian that you still love and think highly of?
one person I think he's no longer with us. Robin Harris. I don't know if you remember the Kid and Play movies.
Yeah.
I do
He
actually.
wrote
like
the
House
first-
Party and all that?
Yeah, the House Party. So he wrote that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and he was the father. He was like Kid's dad. And he's kind of one of those unspoken heroes. He was also in Harlem Nights.
Yeah.
And,
I love that.
he also wrote Bebe's Kids, and he was supposed to be in the movies Bebe's Kids. Like, let me tell you something about like the movie Bebe's Kids. It's one of those, if you know, you know. All right, it's like a very old school, like millennial. It's kind of millennial Gen X.
Yeah.
Millennial Gen X type movie, like where it made like maybe $100,000 in the box office. No one went
It
to
just
see it in
bombed,
the movie.
yeah.
It bombed, but it was literally one of the best animated movies I've ever seen growing up.
Okay.
Like it was just tremendous. But yeah, he was supposed to be the voice in that, and then he died. He died at like 36 or something like that.
Yeah.
Like people don't fuck with blacks so much that like our heart gives out. Like that's just, we just you gotta shoot us. You just gotta like just give us
wait it out.
carbohydrates.
Just wait it out.
Just like fucking here's some cholesterol.
Yeah.
Fucking
Just wait it out, man.
But he just really didn't get to see like all of the. There's so much things that are like Robin Harris coded that like you don't even realize. Like there's so much black comedy that is around because of him.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
so he's just one of the people that's influenced me a lot.
It was weird to me, when I was growing up because I came up Gen X, and so the only thing we had was whatever was on the TV. There weren't other options. There was no DVRs. There was nothing recorded. There weren't VCRs. There weren't DVDs.
Oh, man.
So you just watched what was there, and so probably for at least I don't know, from the time I was 10 until probably 14, one of my favorite things to watch was Sanford and Son.
Oh, yeah.
man.
And so Red Fox,
Yes.
I loved him. And if you ever go back and watch old episodes of Sanford and Son right now, you go, that was on TV?
Yeah.
Oh,
They
yeah.
could say that
Yeah.
on TV?
Yeah.
It was crazy. And listen, I was young. So I remember going to get the first Red Fox album that I got. And, man, about a minute in, I went, this is a different Red Fox right here, and I liked it a lot.
Oh yeah.
But he was as blue as it gets, man. He was mega blue.
Yeah, it's just it was this special time when people did not give a fuck about what you say.
Yeah.
Like it's not that there weren't consequences. There are always consequences
Right.
for
Of
words you
course.
say. Words have weight. So
Yeah.
what you say, like on a podcast, on the radio, whatever, like, especially now, like, it's like collected forever.
Right.
So there will always be consequences, But back then, there was just kind of less. And, especially, with like black comedians back then, like, you could like go around saying honky. I can't go around saying honky in
Well, it's just-
Little Rock, Arkansas. I feel like that
It
wouldn't
might
go
be
well.
funny.
I-
in the
I-
right context, I might not say, "What's up, honkies?" Actually, I might. I
What
don't
up,
know.
cracker?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel
But
like
I feel I feel what you're saying, though.
Like if I went to Starbucks and was just like, "Hey, what's going on, honkies?" I would get kicked out of that Starbucks.
You could catch
No
an
cake
ass
pop
whooping.
for you.
You could catch one, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's
Oh,
possible.
man.
Yeah, I guess so. But you're right. People were much freer with their language, and everybody just kind of was okay, whatever with it.
Yeah, and it's weird because, like, I don't know. There were still consequences. I mean, like, literally, the Beatles broke up because, like, what was it? John Lennon said that he's
Bigger than God.
or
Yeah, the
bigger than-
Beatles were bigger than God.
The Beatles were bigger than God, and people got pissed.
Yeah.
And like, NWA made the song "Fuck the Police," and like, then like they made him a target for like the literal police. like,
Yes.
the LAPD. And
I can't imagine why, but yeah. And listen, I grew up in the rap era. I was listening to Sugar Hill Gang. I was listening to the Fat Boys. I was listening to, all those guys back then. KRS-One, Public Enemy. But you're right. That when that happened, man, it was like, people snapped. Especially, the political rich people were like, "What? What the
Yeah.
police? What? Oh no!"
so it's weird because there's always been some form of people being like mad sensitive and getting angry at things that you say.
Yeah.
But now it just seems like all those people are multiplied and they have multiple microphones.
Well, that's what I love to say, which is that when I was a kid, if you were insane, the only time we heard you talking is if maybe the news was filming you getting thrown into the back of a car and you're yelling, "Bitch, now everybody who's crazy has their own channel and 20,000 followers
Yeah.
to validate their insanity.
Exactly.
No, it's true. The earth is made of vaginas. I never knew. He's right. He's right. It is.
That's why there's so much that we haven't discovered.
Yeah. No, that's what hot springs is. Oh shit.
Oh man, that geyser.
Yeah, right. That's not an oil well. I don't know where we're even going with this shit, man.
Oh, faithful. Oh, faithful.
Faithful, stop it, man.
But yeah,
Just stop it, bro. You gotta stop, man. Niagara Falls, bitch.
but yeah, it's always been like that. Like I remember hearing about people writing like letters to Fox to get Married with Children taken off of the
Man,
air.
that's true too.
Demanded it.
And let me tell you something.
I love that show.
They still play it in reruns. I bet it was probably a year, 2 years ago. I said, I just want to go watch a little, all
Bundy.
the fat jokes he ever did. Because now you're not supposed to be doing fat jokes like that.
Yeah.
In theory, you know what I mean. But damn, man, his fat jokes were funny. Oh my God, they were funny, man.
I personally don't make jokes like that. Like I don't go on stage. Like you're not gonna see
I'm
me
not gonna
doing
do
my
that
Little
either.
Rock like show and like make fun of Lizzo. Like I'm just not
No.
gonna do it. I don't want smoke from her peoples. Okay.
No, I get it.
I literally did a show with like her partner in New York. Like so I just
She's
wouldn't
not
feel
even
right
big
doing it.
anymore, man.
Yeah. She lost.
Yeah, she Ozempic.
Ozempic.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
she went
She
to
would
the other
go be.
side, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever, man. If I could afford that, I would do it too. Fuck it.
Yeah.
But
I know it. I'm the same boat, bro. But
yeah, I don't know. I don't do joke because, like I said, there are consequences to the words you say. So like, I'm not
Absolutely.
gonna like just actively.
well,
go,
it's a different lens now. But
Yeah.
it's still, if you in the context of Married with Children, the shit's funny.
Yes.
It's funny.
In the context of saying it today in public, no, that's probably
Hell
that's not a
no.
good
No,
idea.
no.
And I'm like you. I don't. When I first started in comedy, there were common targets. I might have talked about Kim Kardashian's ass and how big it was, or
Yeah.
different things like that. But that was a lens of that day. Now those are not the targets that I would go after because I don't want to attack anyone personally. You know, I'd rather talk about more common situations, unless it's Kanye being Kanye, and then I can always,
In that
you know, I
context,
can
yeah.
always say something about Kanye. You know,
You'll never run out of material for Kanye. If I just did
No.
an hour about Kanye, I mean,
no, if I could just stop time at about 2010 and just tell Kanye you're going to sit out for about the next 10 years,
Right.
life would be so much better for him too. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
everybody loves
Yeah.
me still.
Yeah.
yeah, then-
You know, old Kanye, even he said
College
he misses the old
dropout.
Kanye.
College
Yeah.
dropout Kanye.
yeah.
Yeah, no, for the first 3-4 albums, Kanye, you know, but
But
don't.
the truth is that he was always kind of.
Oh no, he's always been
Oh,
crazy.
He's
man.
always been crazy. He's
Yeah.
always been out there. It's just that it got worse after him meeting Kim.
Well, I think it's not just him. I think when you reach a certain level, and you kind of alluded to it earlier, when you reach a certain level of fame and wealth,
yeah.
you become so disconnected from any reality that you or I live. You're not going to a grocery store. You're not going to clothes shop. You're not going to any place where the public normal Joes are. You don't experience any type of adversity like, oh, how am I going to pay the light bill, or shit, my car broke down. I mean, none of that shit. It's all gone.
Right.
And so your world is only what you paint it to be when you have that kind of money, and you just lose so much touch with reality, I think.
Yeah. Once you lose that perspective, it's kind of over. But it wasn't for Kanye. We still wanted to see him pump out music.
No, I mean, people were happy, like, oh, dude, he's a little crazy, and his fashion's weird, but, good for you. You got $1 billion. And then it's like, then $1 billion wasn't enough to bail him out of that stupid mouth he has at times,
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
love that. Again, he's a production genius, period.
He sees sounds.
Yeah, no, there is unquestionable the influence and imprint that Kanye made in music, not just rap music, but across the board.
Absolutely.
But then there's the other side,
Right.
There's just-
Hey, let's take a quick break. This is too much noise here
they're
going
getting
on.
crazy.
We'll be back in just a second. Let's find something exciting here to play. I'm sure I've got one that. Oh yeah. Let's go with this.
Somebody asked me yesterday what it is that makes us so good. I said it's just simple math. He said, show me if you could. By no means am I a math whiz. Hell, I barely beat Algebra 1. But even I have to admit, somehow this formula is fun. 1 + 1 equals us, the base of the equation, times the square root of trust, minus any temptation. Take your 5 points as a plus, that's prime factorization. And if you find you need to adjust, just add a little flirtation. Never had to geometry a thing, no long division to do. No doubt, baby, the math is mathing when it comes to me and you. The formula for our love is true, could be a sold out college class, but instead here's a free pass for you on how to make a good thing last. 1 + 1 equals the base of the equation, times the square root of trust, minus any temptation. Take your 5 points as a plus, that's prime factorization. simple. Whoa, just simple. Yeah, it's just simple mathematics. 1 plus 1 equals us. The base of the equation. Times the square of trust. Minus any temptation. Take your 5 points as a plus. Plus 1 factorization. And if you find you need to adjust, just add a little flirtation. Just as math and as sweet kiss pencils down. Class dismissed.
All right, we are back again.
Yes, we
and
are.
We're sitting here with Carter Anderson. You may know him from either stand-up or Carter Anderson Comedy, his TikTok channel with, well, I'm sure over 2 million followers now that you've been on our show. It may be up to 3 now. I don't know.
Maybe even 4.
You probably checked today. You might need to cut me a check.
Like, damn, look at these
I'm
numbers.
looking
I'm
for
gonna finally
a
be able to
check,
get
bro.
my mom out the hood, man.
Yeah, that's a congratulations and you're welcome. So,
Making dreams,
so
making
you've been
dreams.
doing it for 10 years. You're super successful on social media. You're touring. You're doing everything. What do you want in the next 5 years? Are you wanting to take stand up to the next level? Are you trying to blow your social media to the next level? What is your real initiative over the next 5 years as a comedian?
I would really like to create a show, like a TV show,
Yeah.
like something on a streaming platform or something like
Sure.
that. Like, I mean, I think that's everyone's dream, or to write for a TV show
Right.
itself. But obviously, I want to continue doing my social media. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there really needs to be an end to this per se. Like,
Right. No, I understand that.
Yeah, and then obviously, I want to get to a place where it's 500 to 1,000 people coming to my shows.
Right, right.
And I have good turnouts for my shows. And stuff
I
like that.
understand that. You just want to be on that next level. So when you talk about a TV show, would
Yeah.
you rather do something that was more of a Frasier, Seinfeld type situational comedy, or would you be more inclined to do an animated type show, more like a Family Guy or something like that?
The thing about those animated shows is that only so many of them make it. I feel like only so many of them do well. Not many people are gonna make one like Bob's Burgers.
Right,
Bob's
right.
Burgers is just on such a special
It connects with a lot of people. Yeah.
even the Cleveland show. Most of them don't. Most people consider the Cleveland show a failure, but it lasted 4 seasons. Yeah, obviously it didn't last as long.
It still felt forward. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it
Wasn't
didn't-
like Geico Caveman's one episode series.
Facts. I remember that. That was a fucking failure.
No, that is the epitome of failure.
That was really-
I think they cut it off halfway through and just went, no, just play commercials.
What
It's
were we
better."
thinking?
Yeah.
No, that was a bad call.
God, I remember when that happened, and I was rooting for them. I was like Tyra Banks. I was like, wait, I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How could you do this?
Right. No, it's
Really,
trash.
really horrible. Yeah.
But there are lots of shows that make it that I'm like, I don't get it, but lots of people love it,
I would really like to do sort of like a sitcom type of
Okay.
comedy or something
Yeah,
like that.
more like a Martin or something where it brings
Yeah.
in a lot of the characterizations you could do. Would you want to do more of the behind the scenes or on it or both?
I don't know. It would be kind of nice if someone more handsome than me played me. That would be if I could get Idris Elba to play me.
Shit, if I could get
He's
Idris Elba
20
to
years
play
older
me,
than me,
what are
by
you
the
talking
way.
about?
Yeah,
Shit,
yeah.
I'd almost let Idris Elba play my wife. What are you talking about?
Yeah. No,
No homo.
I could honestly, yeah, I could see Michael B. Jordan playing you.
Clearly it would be
Y'all
a
have
good choice.
sort of the same
Same
physique.
physique, same type of mindset.
Yeah. Different shades, but it's
Go
all.
Wakanda forever.
Oh my god.
We all started from Africa, baby.
Yeah.
It's all the same shit.
God. This cracker.
You gotta say cracker with an A.
Yeah.
Okay?
With the
You can't-
hard
hard
R,
R. That is aggressive.
That was a
That was
cracker.
aggressive, wasn't it?
That R is
Damn, you
tough,
gonna start
man.
talking about peanut butter on the cracker? Man, what's wrong with you? Get a grip, man.
That R is leaning up
just got
against a
canceled.
fence, like offering kids drugs.
Yeah,
Like
you
that.
just got canceled. Man, I could see you. I could see you doing something like that. Now, have you considered, because you do so much social media now, have you considered doing like a shorts from like if you in your head created an actual series in your mind, but you just did shorts of it on your TikTok where you had people play it out?
Yeah. I mean, something like that could work because, I mean, that's how the show Broad City started.
Yeah.
Like, it was, like, on YouTube, and then those girls, like, you know, they got their own show because of, I think it was because of Amy Poehler, and then they got it on Comedy
See, that-
Central, and that was on for a long time.
I don't know if you're familiar with it. Letterkenny started that way.
That's right.
Yeah.
See, I haven't gotten to that level of white where, like, I've watched Letterkenny yet.
Man.
I've heard about it,
Yeah.
and, you know, I've
And
dated
I can
white.
understand that because it probably would take you losing a couple shades. But
Yeah.
no, what I love about Letterkenny, I mean, the characters are rich and well developed, but it is the writing. Now, it's Canadian, and it takes about 3 episodes to really lock in and understand what they're saying. But it's really just one roast after another. That's all it is. It's just roasting people. And it's really like the first 5 seasons are as good as any television can be. Now, the last few were hit and miss to me.
Yeah.
But man, the first 4 or 5 seasons, the writing was so crisp that it is good. But yeah, there are shows that have started like that. I could see you doing something like that where you have kind of a cast, or even just yourself as the cast, which could in its own way be funny. You know, if you're the female, the male, you're everything in it. You know, the postman, the wife. You know, that could be kind of funny,
I tried to-
especially if you keep the goatee.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, if I were to, like, play a woman, I would, like, absolutely.
You
like,
gotta keep it.
I would
Oh,
keep
yeah.
the goatee.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. The whole thing, there's this thing in black comedy where there are some comedians that are very against a black man wearing a dress. And they just, it's a whole thing. And
Right.
it gets
No,
like
I
really,
understand
people
it.
get really
I get
pissed
it.
and they think it's like, and you know, then you could be considered transphobic and stuff like that. It's
Right.
a whole bit, they're not even going from that lane. They're just like, no, it's demoralizing.
It's demoralizing,
Yeah,
right?
it's you know, you're infantiling, like, you know, a black man, and you know,
Right.
I don't want to do that, and I'm like,
I get
no,
that.
and
I
I
get
don't
what you're
really,
saying,
I
though.
don't see the, I don't know, like what is it? Tyler Perry did that,
Yeah.
and now he's a billionaire. So
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know,
what I'm
like,
saying. I think it started. Shakespeare did it. You know, I saw that. I think it was who is it that plays Magneto? Sir Ian McKellen.
Yeah.
A great, phenomenal actor.
Yeah.
Good ally in the LGBT community. But he said he was putting an all trans performance of Shakespeare together, and I was like, you mean like they started with?
yeah, that's
I
literally
mean,
what they
that's
did.
basically how they started. They were all cross-dressed. I mean, that's exactly how it was.
A lot of people don't know that because, like, they didn't allow chicks to be
No.
actors.
No,
they
you-
were like,
you
no,
weren't-
it's an actor, not
No,
an actress.
No, what
that's
are
not
you
even
doing?
a word yet,
Go cook
dummy.
something. Yeah, I mean that's how it was, you know.
It's
and-
so crazy, and now, like, you know, like if you're,
but
an
now
actor,
that's
like,
an announcement to make that we're going to do this, and I just went, yeah, that's not new, but I guess
Yeah.
it is in some people's eyes. But
yeah, because most people, it's not common knowledge. Like,
well,
you
no,
know,
because
but-
we don't teach anything anymore.
Yeah. Like, I got a
Shakes
degree.
who?
Yeah, I got a degree in theater, so like I know about
okay.
that shit. So yeah,
Yeah,
but
you-
most people, like, you know, people in, like, you know, wherever bumfuck Texas are like, yeah, I don't know why the hell would there be a cross dress in Shakespeare?
Yeah, I don't understand that.
What in the hell?
Bubba,
Cal?
what the hell's going on?
What?
Scratching my noggin.
What in the name of Bucky's is going on here? This is offensive.
He's got an Audi vagina. What's happening here? I don't understand.
An Audi vagina.
I don't even know how that works.
Yeah,
That's
me
not-
either. That's not even for me to understand. I don't have to decipher those parts. I don't have. It's not for me. You know, that's
man.
someone else to decide. But no, man, I do. I think just in looking at what you've done on social media and listening to you speak, I think you probably could do something like that and pull it off real well.
Yeah,
I think you could put together a great show. I bet you have some good ideas now.
Yeah, I definitely.
Yeah.
There are
If you want
definitely
to give them
times.
to me after this, I won't take them from you, I promise.
I trust you. You know, we've known each other for an hour now, and
No,
you
it's
seem like a solid guy.
It's
You know,
solid, bro. We're kismet now.
there's never been any
serendipitous.
situations where like a straight white male is screwed over
Ever.
a black man.
Never. No, check your history,
Come
man.
on, man.
Yeah.
Have you seen Shawshank Redemption? Come on, man. You're my red. Come on.
Oh man.
I wish I could tell you Andy fought the good fight. The sisters let him be, but prison is no fairy tale world.
That was a pretty solid Morgan Freeman.
I
honestly.
appreciate
That
you
was-
on that. I appreciate you on that. I might have done some stand up here and there. I don't know. Man, listen, I can't thank you enough for coming out and hanging out today. Listen, everybody, I can't encourage you enough to get out to the Looney Bin
Yes.
all weekend long. Friday, 2 shows. Saturday, 2 shows. Saturday shows are at 7 and 9. 9:30. Okay. Yeah. So there you go. But get tickets now because I promise you, if it's not sold out, it's selling out as we speak.
Yeah.
Probably is. But give them a try anyway and see if you can get tickets tonight or tomorrow because I'm sure you're going to give them a hell of a show.
Yes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's gonna be the best shit ever.
And I would imagine, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I know every comedian's different. But after the show, if people would like to, they probably could get a photo with you or
Yeah, absolutely.
things like that.
Yeah.
I mean that'd be super cool, man. You know what you ought to do, and I shouldn't start this. This would be a problem. But what you ought to do is bring you some eyes and lips and just put on. That way, when you take a picture with him, you see you can have him voice your character. I don't know. I'm not trying to start shit, but it's a good idea.
man.
If anybody does that, you're welcome.
Well, it's been a nice run.
I love it. No, man, check him out. Anderson, it's CarterAndersonComedy.com, right?
It's
Or
just
Carter
Carter
Anderson
Anderson
Comedy.
Comedy. Yeah,
Okay,
you
just
just find me
hit
on Instagram,
Anywhere.
TikTok, all that.
No, he's everywhere. But TikTok is where a lot of people get the action from him. 2 million plus over there loving it every single day, and you can join it and be part of it. I'm sure you can sign up and learn more, find out when you're going to be around, where you're going to be, what's going on with you, and all that.
Absolutely, yeah.
I tell you what, I don't know how often you get here, but we would love to, if nothing else, maybe periodically do a Zoom interview with you if you're out, on the road somewhere else and check in and see how things are going. I think people would have a lot of interest in that.
Yeah, I'd be down for that, yeah.
All right, man, that's awesome. Well, guys, let's take a break. Thank you again for coming in, man.
Yes,
It's been
yes,
awesome having you here, and we'll be back in just a little bit, okay?
I had a dream about the day we met. All these years later, still I can't forget. Mischief in your eyes, advertise the trouble. First thing you said was, waitress, make it a double. If there was tension, you cut it with a buzzsaw. Telling dirty jokes about your grandma. Another couple drinks, we were still laughing. But we were just friends, nothing was happening. Nothing was happening, nothing was happening until it was 14 years later, there's still us. Nothing was happening, it's still true. Nothing was happening until I fell for you. I fell for you. Didn't vibe the same style. Facts, I didn't have a drop. Some dirty band t-shirt you walked in fit on that pop. But as the days counted by, something freed our hearts from the cage. A flicker in your eyes wouldn't let me turn the page. Another couple drinks, we were still laughing, but we're still laughing. Nothing was happening, nothing was happening until it was 14 years later, there's still us. Nothing was happening, it's still true. Nothing was happening until I fell for you. Water under the bridge, or water over the dam. I'll fight for this love with all that I am. There's no scenario where you're not my world, center of my universe. It's you, baby girl. Oh, another couple drinks, we were still laughing, but we were still laughing. But we were just friends. Nothing was happening, Nothing was happening. Nothing was happening till it was 14 years later. There's still us. Nothing was happening. It's still true. Nothing was happening until I fell for you.
Yeah, we're supposed to be back now. Here, hold on. Check this out.
We're
though.
slipping.
No, we're not slipping. Check this out. If you're looking for a vehicle, you know where to go. Fitz Auto is the place to go. Now, you can go online at fitzauto.com, or you can go in person, 8421 Stagecoach Road in Little Rock. What makes them different? What makes them special? Well, they work with you regardless of your credit history because they're their own bank. They don't have to ask anybody else. It's up to them who they work with. And they have late model, low mileage vehicles. They're going to save you money. They're going to put you in something you can be proud of. And it doesn't matter, sports car, truck, SUV, boat, RV, camper, amphibious units. They've got motorcycles, anything you could possibly want on wheels and an engine. They've got it there for you. Check them out, fitzauto.com. Start there, in there. It's where you're going to go because it's the best deal. Josh Taylor over at First Horizon just did it again. I just had another first-time home buyer, a couple who got into a home. Literally, they paid $500 to get into this home. That's right, $500 total dollars is what they paid to get into their new home. Why? Because First Horizon Bank has grant money that they offer, whether it's income-based, you're a professional, or a first responder. They have grant money for all of that, and it can help pay your down payment, your closing cost, and more. Josh is good people. He's just like you and I, and he can help you out. Look, you want to get into a house for $500? Yeah, Josh Taylor's the guy to call. 351-2579. It's 351-2579. Josh Taylor over at First Horizon Bank, and you tell him that Patrick's in. All right, man. You know what time it is, baby. We got to get this in today.
Yes, we
huh?
do.
He's Patrick, he's an angry SOB. Patrick, are you freaking kidding me? Patrick, right here on PATB. Suck it, man, this guy is really pissed. Angry
That's right, Luke.
Patrick.
That's right. You know, when we talk about prison reform and fixing the legal system that's a conveyor belt of failure, you like to see the big wins. And this week, a major injustice was corrected thanks to the president signing pardons for Todd and Julie Chrisley, martyrs of the justice movement and stars of Chrisley Knows Best, a reality show about a wealthy family in Georgia. Are you forgiving me? Hell yeah, let's put him on a poster next to Nelson Mandela. Who needs a pardon more than a rich hoity-toity TV star who had more money than any of us and still didn't want to pay taxes? And have you seen this show? A lot of people love Todd Chrisley. He's funny, but there seems to be just a bit off about this marriage. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Anybody else get a teeny tiny little bitty gay vibe from Todd, come on. This dude is
Just a little.
gayer than Liberace's banana hammock in Anderson Cooper's hot tub. I mean, come on, man. Julie Chrisley isn't just a beard. She's a full-length, super thick Duck Dynasty beard connected to a glorious chest mane and a crotch fro boasting a championship-level circumference. Like a real nice piece of landscaping, you know? And when it comes to reality TV, Chrisley Knows Best ranks just under Lizard Lick Boeing as the greatest actual reality show of all time. I've seen better setups in a solid episode of Scooby-Doo. But it's not the show that's the optical issue here. It's that somehow these two became media poster children for justice reform. What, was Casey Anthony busy? I mean, you can't go find Jared from Subway? No, the Chrisleys aren't horrible people. They're just rich as hell with annoying kids, and nobody feels sorry for them. Hell, Todd and Julie may be just as mad, like, we finally got away from our money-grubbing kids. Todd met a real nice guy in prison, or buddy, you know, and damn it, yeah. But the good news is you'll be able to watch it all in the new season. Episode 1, Todd gets it hard. Todd gets hard time. That's really what that's about. Next up, the enhanced games are coming, marketed as an event designed to take away the stigma of performance-enhancing drugs and safely push the limits of human athletic performance. The enhanced games has been nicknamed the Olympic Games on steroids. Originally, it was promoted as a concept in 2023. The Enhanced Games will host its first ever edition May of next year in Vegas with 8 different events. Man, this sounds like a recipe for success. Are you freaking kidding? This is the greatest sporting moment in history. 8 different events. I want to make damn sure I'm tuned into the Spouse Smackdown event. That's where one of the spouses is completely roided out and goes full domestic on the other one. Hit him again, bitch. Hit him again. And you have to bring out the superstars. Can you imagine a roided up Serena Williams just snapping and murdering her opponent with her tennis racket? One love, bitch. You feel the love? Basically, I think you just take all these people, drop them on a Survivor type island and say,
Yes.
last one standing gets $1 million. That's right. Every one of your opponents have 50 grand in their pocket. You go take it. Get to watch Boston Rob beat someone to death with a fucking crab. Then start a fire and cook it with no flint, just rubbing his PED hands together at high speed, just calluses catching friction fire. You know, I mean, come on. It could even make the WNBA interesting. Watch Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark scrapping, but it looks like Stone Cold versus Booker T. Both of them got their shirt off. Not a single boner popped, but no one can look away. That's when Caitlin just throws Angel in a headlock twist, and boom, next thing you know, she's dribbling Angel's dome, pulls up a 3. Now that's an a WNBA game that would be worth seeing.
Yes.
All right. And finally, yeah, summer is the time for sunshine, beaches, and fun. Also, the season for summer penis, which is far less enjoyable. Dr. Donald Grant says the effects that the hotter weather can have on a guy's nether region are undeniable. In the U.S., between 30 and 50 million men have issues related to erectile dysfunction. He says hot summer conditions exacerbate that. Warmer weather shows instances of dehydration, which can make getting in or maintaining a woody more challenging. The dehydration can also jump up your blood pressure, which can negatively affect your plumbing down below. Just when you thought the world was safe again, summer penis. Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, what the actual fucking fuck here, man? Let me ask you a question, Dr. Grant. Do you smoke crack every day or just before you did this interview? A, the term summer penis shockingly isn't recognized in the medical profession. And when you think about it, summer penis sounds less scary and more like a real nice photo-worthy man whistle with a golden broad spray tan hanging out under an umbrella by the beach like it was in a Corona commercial. It sounds like a family game at a picnic. Okay, everyone, time to play summer penis. Or it could be you weed whack that massive crotch fro, and so it's like a convertible now. Like you're in a convertible caddy on a summer day and you drop the top kind of thing, but it's your bacon bazooka behind the wheel. But look, you're telling me that when it gets hot, I may not be able to go. Dr. Grant, I'm not sure what kind of doctor you are. I suspect it's on par with Dr. Scholl's with even less medical street cred. So listen, Dr. Dong, I've literally been in a wood shop with no AC, sweat pouring from every part of my body. My wife sent me a short video, and 15 seconds later, my Johnson showed up in shorts and a running shoes, man, ready to go. Okay, what I'm saying is, I don't know how dehydrated you have to be, but it's got to be more like the Sahara Desert dehydrated, like miles through sand dunes over like 36 hours. The only liquid you had was licking your own sweat the first hour, and your body's about to shut down. Okay, in that moment, if you offer me water or the exact same video, I mean, I'm taking the water, but one Dixie cup and 45 seconds later, summer penis is gone. I guess if you get winter penis, it just breaks off and shatters on the floor, right? Look, quit making up stupid shit to scare people. There's enough real shit. Thanks a lot, Dr. Dumbass. Here's an idea. How about you take my stiffness challenge? What you do is you take your disco stick and coat it in some high-grade honey, then head out to the backyard and jam it in a fire anthill. Wait for it. Wait for it. Yeah, my study says your Johnson being attacked by a battalion of angry ants is not conducive to good penis activity. Now prove me wrong, Doc. All right, that's enough. All right, we're done with that.
That was awesome.
Man, come on, man.
That
With this,
bacon, what was that?
Bacon bazooka.
That
baby.
was awesome.
Good times, man. Good times. Yeah, we're still behind, so I have to punish you. I'm not punishing you, but you got to get this.
Have you been injured? You need an attorney with a passion for people and an obsession with justice. That attorney is Tim Reed in Little Rock. Look, they've won $1.3 million in wrongful death, almost $1 million in medical malpractice and in insurance dispute. These guys know what they're doing, but more importantly, he's not a figurehead of some kind. He's not just some person on a poster with a picture of a rig or a smile or his dog with him. This is a real guy you can text with, you can talk to, and who will take good care of you. He'll work with you personally to get what you deserve. Check out reedfirm.com, reedfirm.com, or give him a call, 777-7333.
You know, a lot of times you might not hear cool and attorney in the same line, but when I'm talking about Riggin Law, you will, because Kristen Riggin and her crew are just cool people. Going to an attorney can be intimidating, and you feel like you're being talked down to. They're talking in legalese, and it's scary. Not with Kristen. She's going to break it down to you just like I would, sit there and talk to you, kind of work it out and figure it out in the fair and right way. Doesn't matter if it's divorce or custody or if it's elder law. They do a lot of stuff to help out with court situations where you may have a family member who's died and you've got something going into probate. Man, you don't want to argue with your siblings over that. Don't put yourself in that position. That's what Riggin Law does. They'll help you work through the probate and all of that. If you've got a custody issue, even a criminal issue, it doesn't matter. Kristen can help you. And man, they are an amazing group of people. You can give them a call, 249-1289. It's 249-1289, or just go to rigginlaw.com and tell Kristen we sent you. All right, we are back, and I got a couple stories here I want to talk about, Chad, about water. Let me ask you a question, man. You've been to the ocean before, right?
Yeah.
Do you enjoy it? Do you go out and swim? What
Yes.
do you do? You?
Well, here lately, no. Like
No.
the last couple of years, I hadn't even gotten in the ocean when we went.
No.
Yeah.
Now, where do y'all go when you go?
Last year we went to Mexico. We usually go to Destin every year, though.
Oh, okay. You go to Destin. That's pretty fun.
Yeah, I love me some Destin.
Well, this is over in Rhode Island, and not maybe the place you expect to see it. A 20-foot shark
What?
in New England sent ripples of panic and excitement across the summer destination on Memorial Day. Many initially believed a massive great white shark had ventured into the calm waters of the Great Salt Pond on Rock Island, but Maine experts have since identified the behemoth as a giant. Well, it's a 20-foot shark, is what
Is
it
that not how
is.
Jaws started? Like,
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, look here, 20-foot shark. I don't care what kind of shark it is. If I see it,
no.
I'm out.
Yeah. No.
I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm done with
Yeah.
that, man.
No. If
Yeah,
I
yeah,
see
yeah.
that fin out there, no, I'm not getting in that
No,
water.
and you can look. Hold on, you can see.
Oh, yeah, that's a big fin. That
Yeah,
looks
watch
like the Jaws.
watch this. Hold on. See if it'll. I won't even play. But you can see if you see it, the little other fin is way back here, and it's like, oh hell no.
Bigger than that boat looks like.
Yeah, it is bigger than that, but it's 20 feet long, man.
It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, what would you if you saw that coming towards you? What do you what do you do? You just go at?
You just say I'm an appetizer and just
Yeah,
like
you just go ahead and say, yeah, just you get it over with fast, would you?
right, swallow me whole.
Yeah, no, please make this over soon because I'm going to have a heart attack otherwise. There it is. Can you see?
Man, that is big.
Look, there's the dorsal fin.
Yeah,
There's
that's a big gap between that and that.
yeah, no, that's freaky as hell to see that, man. Yeah,
Imagine
that's how
swimming
Jaws
and that
happen.
pop up behind you when you're swimming.
Hell no.
Woo! You might coming up
That's
off
what I'm
that
saying,
water.
man.
Like
I've seen videos where people, a couple different videos. One where a guy jumped off a cliff, and one where he jumped off a boat. Two different people, and they both landed on a shark.
hell no.
Now, luckily, they didn't get bit. It probably scared the shark off, but the wrong shark, it ain't gonna scare.
No.
You know what I mean?
See, that's what we're supposed to be doing this summer. Me and my son, when he graduated this year, I told him I'd take him to the Bahamas, and we're going
Oh.
to swim with sharks.
Yeah.
But not no 20-foot.
No, you're gonna get in the cages though.
No,
and do it?
no,
you're doing the
like
swim
the
with
nurse
the nurse
sharks. Yeah, I'm not doing nothing with no big teeth.
No, you're not gonna get in the cage where the
No.
great whites are.
No, I've seen too many of those things go in the cage.
Yeah, no, I've
I'm
seen
good
all
on
kinds
that.
of stuff. No, I can't be a statistic like
No.
that. I'd be that one guy.
I would feel safer free swimming around sharks than in that cage, I think.
Yeah, you think
I think I could
so?
hide underneath something or something.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm probably gonna take the cage, man. I'll be honest with you. There's an old phrase. I'm not going to say it, but I'm sure at some point in your life you probably heard it about a woman being so fine you drink their bathwater.
Right.
Right. Yeah,
Right,
you heard
right,
that?
right.
Well, it's come true.
Man, they're selling it right.
Yeah, oh yeah. Instead of
God.
simply pulling the plug
I
out
missed it.
after a long bath and letting the sewage system deal with the water, Sydney Sweeney is now selling it. The star of Euphoria smelt a strong whiff of opportunity after she started an advertisement for Dr. Squatch's body wash and is now flogging the liquid she herself bathed in. She said, she appeared as a body wash genie. You may have seen the commercials online or on TV. The promotional clips went live last October. One of them showed her sharing some suggestions for dirty little boys while soaking in a tub of bath or a bath of suds. The footage went viral. Now sales for the soap brand shot up by epic proportions. Well, Dr. Squatch and Sweeney are going to capitalize on this. The actress has joined forces with them. They have a new product. Fans of the Anyone But You alum can get their hands on a bar of soap made with her actual bath water, according to Sweeney. They apparently come with a certificate verifying this. It's described as the ultimate blend of outdoor serenity with refreshing notes of pine, Douglas fir, earthy moss, and a touch of Sydney's bathwater bliss.
I'll start bottling mine up and I'm going to sell it on eBay if y'all want.
I don't know why they did it in a bar. They should have left it in a
the
liquid.
water, you think? Yeah.
or liquid or just a bottle of the water itself
Right.
that you could drink.
Right. They'll be like, oh, I'm going to drink
Yeah,
this.
I'm going to drink that.
Freaky
Yeah.
son
What are you,
of a
you
bitch.
going to eat a bar of soap? I guess you could lick it every once in a while. I'm just going to get a little lick on it, you know. I think that was a little Sydney right there.
That's
No,
a little
not
weird.
Sydney. That was pine, dumbass. First of all, I'm not even going to believe that it's actually the water. They saved the
No,
water
man,
from that commercial.
that girl ain't taking that mean damn bath.
No, man, come on, man. She got in that tub one time.
Yeah.
That commercial got out.
They used that
water.
same tub. They're like, oh, it's in there.
Yeah,
And
no,
that's
no.
it.
It just is, yeah, right. But it is a funny concept, though.
Nah, man, that's a banking concept. They'll make some money off that.
Look, she's a little thinner than normally I would enjoy.
She's
But
not.
there's something about her that she's got a little something about
Yeah,
her.
she's not an ugly girl.
No, hell no.
I wouldn't be breaking down doors to drink her bath
Man,
water.
I don't
but-
know, man. If you watch her in shows, I mean, there's a little something to her. I can't put my finger on it. Wouldn't mind, but I can't.
Something with her eyes. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't know. She got a little sexy little voice. I mean, she was in White Lotus, and she was in something else I watched too recently. And she's a good she's a very good actress actually. But she's definitely the it girl right now. Her and Aubrey Plaza.
Yes.
Aubrey Plaza. Man, I don't know. Funny girls, man. If you're funny,
Yes.
I mean that was really what hooked me with Laura. You know, as hot as she is and as cool as she is, it was her humor.
Right.
I was like, man, this chick is so funny. Man, she makes me laugh all the time.
Yeah.
I can't not be around her.
Yeah.
You know, I want to talk to her all the time.
Right.
And that's huge to me.
No, yeah, especially a comedy guy like you and having a comedy girl. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And you're a funny person. I mean, your wife's pretty funny too. She's kind of smarmy.
Yeah,
She's a little snarky, and
she likes to fire them off on me for sure.
Yeah, for real. No, it's enjoyable actually being around them because it's like those two old dudes in the Muppets, you know, going at it. You know what I mean? Waldorf and Statton or whatever their names were.
It's like worlds collide. Man.
Yeah, no, you guys are definitely from different sides of the tracks still. Let's go through some of the comments. You guys have been commenting all morning, and unfortunately,
been neglecting you.
yeah, that's right. So let's see what everybody's saying. Wow, man, y'all really have been commenting. Look at this, man. You guys have been on one. Let's just say good morning to people as we go.
Morning.
Yeah, Chad Shen, Tactical Turkey, Marwa. Who else is on here? Man, everybody's on here. Jeez. There's Rich One Paul, Rockwell. Let's see. Brandon, what's up, man? He said a $10 check, patrickandthepeople.com today, and we post into the blog section. Okay, no, I get you. There's, who else is on here? Little doggy. Laura is awesome. Yeah, no, Chad said Laura is awesome. No, she is. She actually is amazing. Brandon said that F-bomb hit different. I don't know which F-bomb.
I know there's been a couple this morning.
There've been a handful of them. I think we've been a little rogue today, you know. Kramer said, Landon said, whoop, jumped in time to rewind 6 minutes for the rant. Good for you, man. Good for you. Yeah, no, everybody's commenting. It was great fun having that comedian on.
Oh, man, yes. I like when we have a comedian.
Carter is great.
He's like on his game, like he was on point.
No, he was ready to rock, man, and he kept getting more into his game and his bag, and that's fun to hear when you start doing your material.
Yeah.
You know, I love it when they start to incorporate that in. But it's also, I think it's always interesting to hear how they became who they are.
Right,
you know,
right.
And
the backstories.
Yeah, I think that's always because that makes me more interested when I know kind of the path you've taken and how you've gotten here. I feel more involved in it.
Right.
Yeah. What are you going to do this weekend, man? I know today you're going to put bonus
holes in some people today.
Bonus holes?
Heck yeah, today and tomorrow. And then Sunday I'm thinking about going to the Buffalo if rain don't go.
If
the water levels go down.
Man, I do like the Buffalo, but when I was a kid, we had an experience on it. My dad decided to take the whole family, and he'd never been in a kayak or a canoe in his life. And it had rained real hard, and the rapids were crazy, and my brother hit his head on a limb, and the boat capsized with us, and it was a real shitty day.
Sounds like
so it took me a while to come back to that, but so
Right.
I don't normally on the rain thing, I'll wait. But I'll tell you what's weird is, I know you remember because I'm pretty sure when you met me, I lived on the river in Benton.
Yes.
Yeah, over on Inwood there. And, man, after storms, you'd see these guys come out on their kayaks and go nuts out there, man, because the water's raging then and you can go real fast.
Right.
But it is super dangerous to do that.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, there's, I don't want to, I'm not going to name names, but I will tell you this is not a fun story. There was a dude that I know, and he and his buddy who were both certified trained rescue people for kayak. Okay, so they're water rescue people.
Right.
That's what they do. They specialize in it and whatnot. And I guess it was, I think there were three of them, I guess. But one of them, it was right after a big storm, and one of them hit I guess a tree had, a big log had fallen across. And so when he hit it, his kayak turned sideways and pressed against that log.
Right.
Okay. And the force of the water pinned him there.
Right.
Right. Now he's not in a regular kayak. Have you seen those kayaks where you're almost sewn into it?
Yes.
It comes up around you like this.
They flip upside down underwater and stuff.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's what he was in. and the water was rising. And so one of them was there holding his head above the water, right? The other one went up, got out of the water, went up on a little embankment up there, threw down a rope, and they tried to pull him out, and they couldn't. And the water kept rising, and the dude finally told his friend, he said, "Man, you got to let me go, bro. You got to let me go."
Damn.
And he had to.
That's tough, man.
Yeah, man, that is tough, isn't it?
Yeah, man.
You can't. Water's unbeaten,
Man,
bro.
no,
Water's unbeaten.
that's some force.
Yeah, no, water, man. That's why in the ocean, man, you got to be careful, man.
Yeah.
Even when you're just in 4 or 5 feet of water,
Yeah.
man, them waves hit you, they'll knock you
Man,
loose, bro.
you always see that big lady at the beach, and that big wave comes. She's been drinking too much, and just knocks her.
Yeah, right.
Like, yes.
No, that is always funny as hell, man. That is damn sure funny to see. I do love seeing that. You're just standing there.
Usually in like a moo or something, like
Yeah.
a long dress.
And this roll. That shit is funny as hell. I'll be honest, that is funny. Let's see. So what we'll do shortly after the show, we've got an interview with Lulu Liquor Cakes. Their shipment has arrived. We're going to try out these cakes on your behalf.
Oh, yes.
And it's going to be awesome. And we'll air that on Monday in the show, assuming I think we can probably get it all edited up.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I've got real estate stuff to do today. But if you are in need of buying a home, I'd love to help you, especially as a first-time buyer. I can guide you through the process, make it a lot less stressful.
Yes.
That's my specialty. As a matter of fact,
Man, he just did it for my son.
yeah, and we're just about to close
Yes,
on this.
and it's been effortless, man. It's awesome.
It
awesome
really
process,
has
man.
been a smooth
Yes.
process for
He
them.
was out the other day buying like washers and dryers. And
Yeah,
stuff, so,
yeah. No,
It's
they're
almost
super
that time.
excited, and I can help you the same way. And right now, I just had, I was talking about it yesterday. I had a lady who was like, I've got great credit, but I don't know if I have enough down. If you got great credit, call me. That's what I'm going to tell you.
Right.
Okay. Now, the other thing I'm talking about, I've got a video I just put out yesterday. It's on my Facebook page. You can check it out. If you're going to sell a house and it needs repair, okay, you got a house you want to sell. Maybe you inherited it. Maybe it was a rental. Maybe you're just moving into another house. There are several ways. There's 4 ways that you can go about this, basically. And I break those 4 ways down so that you can understand what may be the best for you. Because don't just think that it's like on TV, that you need to go do a full flip, put a bunch of money into it, and you got to do all it. You don't. You don't have to. Take a look at that video, but otherwise, just give me a call or reach out to me on social media. Many of you have and do, and I'd love to help you with whatever it is, whether you're buying a home or selling a home. And I don't care. You don't have to be a first-time buyer. Look, I know you experienced buyers out there need someone who can make a good offer for you and negotiate, and otherwise just take you to the house you want to see. I can be that guy too. If you know what you're doing, I don't have to show you the ropes, but I'll sure as hell negotiate on your behalf, and I'm real good at it. Trust me, if you think I can rant, hear me negotiate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But meanwhile, y'all have a great weekend, man. We appreciate you every damn
Yes,
day
yes,
on this
yes.
show, and we'll see you soon.
Peace.